So President Trump again attacked the press last night, trying to blame the media for his own controversial comments on Charlottesville. As you are about to hear, for many of his most diehard supporters, those attacks on the press are making a lasting impression. On Monday, I sat down with a group of Trump voters from Florida, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Alabama, and Georgia to get their take. And they have very strong opinions about who was to blame for violence in Charlottesville and where they go to get their information. How many of you, show of hands, were troubled by the president's response to the violence in Charlottesville? None of you minded how President Trump responded.
No. 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 I didn't see anything wrong with it. I mean, he addressed the problem. I mean, let's face the reality. There are problems on both sides.
Do you think that neo-Nazis and white supremacists are the same as those who are protesting them?
I think it's ridiculous to have me choose between Hitler and Stalin, which is what I consider both groups are.
And why are the people who turned out to protest Nazis,
Not
why
all of
are
them.
they Stalin to you?
The Antifa group to me is totally a very Stalinish kind of group.
How so?
If you're willing to set fires and burn places to the ground, that doesn't sound like a very peaceful group to me.
But
they're both the same evil.
They didn't use those tactics in Charlottesville.
So then I blame the government.
Why do you blame the governor or the government for a white supremacist mowing down a crowd of people and killing someone?
Because they didn't protect the people that day.
The people who were marching with the signs, do you see them as neo-Nazis and white supremacists?
I mean, it hasn't been investigated, so we really don't know who was out there. But I'm telling you, I've seen videos of other people who were out there who were not neo-Nazis.
You believe that there were very fine people protesting?
Yes, I do.
How do you know that?
I'm only telling you from videos that I've seen that people.
But what's the source of your videos? Where are you seeing them?
Facebook. And when I tried to repost those videos, they wouldn't allow me.
Is it possible they're not credible?
Could be. But like I said, they need to investigate and find out exactly what was going on out there.
Vice did an investigation of the people who went there with a purpose to march for neo-Nazis. So let me just play a clip. So blood and soil was a Nazi slogan, and you heard them saying, Jews will not replace us. Is it possible that very fine people were in that crowd?
Not in that crew. Nope. But those crazy, I don't know what else to call them. I probably can't say it on TV. But they still had the right to say those crazy things.
That's the night before the clash happened. The Antifa people, the protesters, they didn't show up Friday night. They showed up Saturday. These protesters showed up the second day. They came there to do battle with them. They showed up with helmets, body armor, clubs. They showed up with balloons filled with urine.
Yeah, they didn't throw up in the local.
And these guys showed up with semi-automatic weapons.
And that's state of Virginia. Open carry is legal. You can walk down the street.
It seems to me that you're giving these guys a green light. The white supremacists.
No, green light is
not at all.
Why do you seem more angry at Antifa than at the neo-Nazis in the world?
I'm not more angry. It's equal. The media is not covering it. They're only focused on making neo-Nazis and white supremacists out to be Trump supporters, and they're the issue of the problem. The reality is of what Trump said is there were two sides. There were two parties that participated.
He said there was trouble on both sides. Was there not trouble on both sides? Because I saw bats on both sides.
And I'm sure you've heard the argument. There was violence on both sides of World War II also.
Yes.
But we were on the right side.
Yes.
There's a right side and a wrong side.
No, not in this case.
If there were some people in Antifa, okay, but most of them were students, including Heather Heyer, who was killed. So why aren't you...
She got killed because they didn't protect her.
Who killed her?
To be honest with you, I don't know because it hasn't been investigated yet. We haven't heard anything.
But we know who the suspect is.
Listen, I don't trust anything that the news media says anymore. And the fact of the matter is we haven't heard from this young man. Like, when I first heard this, me, myself, I'm going to tell you what, some stuff ran through my mind. I'm like, maybe he had a panic attack.
Why are you giving him a pass?
I'm not giving him a pass.
But why are you thinking that the white supremacist might have had a panic attack?
How can he be a supremacist of anything and he's 20 years old? He's
We
being
saw
led.
this
He's
with
a
Dylan
fool.
Roof. We saw this with other young white men.
They're being
Sometimes
led
are white
by
supremacists.
They're being led by devils.
I think we're moving kind of further away from the point of what this conversation should be. What happened that day was a tragedy, and it should never have happened to begin with. No one here is supporting the neo-Nazis or the white supremacists, and that narrative is really negative. But what we are talking about is President Trump's response, and he stood in front of America and he condemned the violence that occurred that day.
You're talking about 300 or 400 people in Charlottesville.
Meaning the neo-Nazis.
Yeah, there's 60 million people voted for President Trump. Why don't we get our say? Those people aren't nothing. Y'all, Democrats have idiots, Republicans have idiots. But we're talking about us, the 60 million that's for Trump. We don't do stuff like that.
Why isn't it the easiest thing in the world for the president to say, neo-Nazis have no place in this country?
He did. He condemned them.
He said it Monday. He didn't know the facts.
Because he just came out on TV, like, it just happened.
I think a great portion of it is a conspiracy. I think it was a setup.
From whom?
From whom? I think people who want to derail our president. And there were buses coming in with lots of young people. And protesters coming off the same bus were some wearing Black Lives Matter and some wearing the KKK shirts. They were brought in to cause a controversy, right?
Where are you getting your evidence?
A lot of it on Facebook.
You saw something on Facebook?
Yes.
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 The protesters, the Antifa people, had an ad on Craigslist recruiting people for $25 an hour to show up for the protest in Charlottesville.
Uh-huh.
It's all over the place. You can read the ad.
And you trust Facebook more than news organizations?
Oh, yeah.
I trust my
Live
Facebook
video
friends.
from
Yes, I
people
do.
who shot
Yes,
it that were present, yeah.
You trust your Facebook feed even though you don't know the origin or
No,
the source
the
of
people
these
are our
things.
friends.
Even though you can't tell me the source of these videos.
I can pull them
The
up
source
off of
of the videos
Facebook
are the
and you see
actual
30
people. I
people
can
the
show
same
you.
videos.
Okay, let me see this. So show me what you found on your phone.
Oh.
The video.
I deleted it off. I'm sorry. There's
thought-
videos on YouTube that are on Facebook. There are videos that if you just Google Charlotte, Virginia protesters videos, they all start popping up into the feed on Facebook.
I also have a young man who said that they saw these people, the 6 buses lined up, someone that lives in Charlottesville, that the 6 buses were lined up and people were getting off the bus with KKK shirts on and BLM shirts. I'm like, what? Now, while that may not sound credible, to a lot of people, to us who don't trust the news media, that could be very credible.